So we got a couple of news stories. Before we get into the big one that happened today, League of Legends had had basically the kickstart of the League of Legends Worlds, which from what I understand is basically the start of their big esports tournament. I don't watch League of Legends esports, so I'm coming in like a completely blind person, so I don't know entirely what this is all. It's definitely an esports thing. I know that for a fact. But I don't know if it's like the start of the tournament, because I heard people talking about like qualifying rounds that happened recently. I'm not sure. But regardless, they had the big kickstart of Worlds today, and they kicked it off with Linkin Park releasing their new single. Their new single from their upcoming album From Zero, titled Heavy is the Crown, accompanied with a really cool looking animated music video. Everyone, like, the animation style looks fucking great. They animated all the band members and all that. They also animated like some of the big esports some of the big League of Legends players. I don't know, other than like I think his name is Faker. He's the only person I know of. But it seems like they animated a lot of the players and like the style of the champion that they choose, which was kind of cool. And then obviously, you know, like I said, band members all look cool. I like the outfits that they put on them and all that. If it'd be cool if at some point in the future they do end up wearing those at one of their big live shows. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Song is cool. Really fucking good. I got major Faint vibes from it. And on top of that, you know, we got Emily with a nice like 17-second scream, which is just chef's kiss. Absolutely amazing. If you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend you do so. It's called Heavy is the Crown. Watch the music video and obviously, you know, listen to it on your own time. Just like Empty in His Machine, I've been having it on repeat ever so slightly. But besides that, we had State of Play, PlayStation State of Play. It was all around pretty freaking. Nah, I wouldn't even. It's below average. Since they upload the trailers and all that in the order that they showed them off in, I'm just gonna. I literally have to scroll down my subscriptions to find them all. So they started off, and by the way, I should point out I haven't gotten a chance to look at all these trailers because I was at work. I caught like the last like 20 or so minutes of the State of Play. So some of these I just barely saw, or I didn't really see at all. So you have Astrobot. They showed off like another thing for Astrobot. I guess they're releasing like an add-on, which is pretty cool. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Astrobot. Might play it at some point in the future. Then the one thing I did see, I caught like the end of that looked really fucking cool, is this game called The Midnight Walk, which was giving me some like major Tim Burton vibes. It looks to be like a thriller. I haven't gotten a chance to look at the full trailer yet, but it looked really interesting. It looks like it's also coming out on the PSVR 2, but looks like you can just also play it regularly, which I always like. I like it when games give you the option to play it either with VR or without VR. But yeah, no, Midnight Walk looks pretty cool. Hell is Us, I don't know what this is supposed to be. I'm gonna skim through it, actually. Okay, it looks to be like an like a post-apocalyptic type deal. Yeah, it's like... it looks like... I don't know if it's because they got the main dude wearing like this weird raincoat, but it's giving me like Death Stranding meets like Fallout and I don't know, something else. But it's definitely definitely post-apocalyptic in some nature. What else we got here? We got a new Metro game, a VR game called Metro Awakening, which I didn't really see a whole lot of. I'm a pretty big fan of the Metro games. I still haven't played the I think it's Exodus, the third game in the series. I've only ever played was it 2044 and Last Light. Then you have Arc Age Chronicles, which that one looks pretty cool. I think it's supposed to be an MMO of some sort. First announce. Either that or it could be like a single player adventure, which again could be cool. It looks like you got different classes and all that. Like you got this Berserker, basic Viking looking class. You got your standard like typical RPG stuff. You know, it looks cool. Oh, online action RPG. Okay, so it might be an MMO. It's also, at first I thought this was Crimson Desert, which is that upcoming RPG that's being made by the developers of Black Desert Online, because the style kind of looks pretty similar. But it looks cool. I'll probably give it a look at when it comes out. And then you have Palworld trailer. It is getting a release on PS5. I think it might actually be out on PS5 right now. Which I think it's kind of hilarious that they announced Palworld's release on PS5 right after the announcement that Nintendo was suing Pocket Pair. Which obviously, you know, we still haven't gotten an update on that lawsuit. I don't know if we will. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm excited for PS5 players to get their taste of Palworld action. Then you have this is another thing that they kind of brought. This like the big thing with this State of Play is that there was a lot of like remasters, and one of them was pretty controversial. And I'll get to that in a little bit. So yeah, Lunar Remastered. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It looks like I don't know. Again, it looks like a classic like JRPG from like the SNES. Looks pretty cool. Again, I don't know if I'll play it, but looks neat. Then you have a DLC coming out for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Like very, very popular beat 'em up to come out. I think it came out last year. It's getting DLC called Radical Reptiles, where it looks like we're getting frogs. You got this skateboarder dude, and you got this I think it's supposed to be like a jazzercise looking like female frog, which the internet's gonna be the internet, and that's all I'll say in regards to that. But that's pretty cool. Fantasia Neo Dimension, which is a name and a half. Looks like it's, and you know, another RPG. I don't know. Then they showed off some Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which I've been hearing some stuff on. It comes out. It comes on Halloween. That's weird because like the only Dragon Age game I've ever played has been Origins. I've not played 2 and I've not played Inquisition. But I know there was a big thing that came out recently. They showed off some of the character creation. I think the race is called the Quinari. They're the horn. They're basically the Tieflings. That game's version of Tieflings. And they made them look more human-like and less bestial. And a lot of people are not happy about it, which I mean, I completely understand. I looked at like the comparison between like the Inquisition Quinari and the Veilguard Quinari, and yeah, no, Inquisition looks way better. So you have Alan Wake 2, that is getting an expansion called Lake House. I have not played the Alan Wake games. I was going to play Alan Wake a while back on my off time, but I never got around to it. Maybe we'll get to it at some point. Then you have a Hitman VR game, which I think is honestly kind of clever. I think a Hitman VR game is pretty cool. I like the idea of, you know, you get to really be in the action and really massage a person and then break his neck while you do so. But then probably one of the coolest remaster. I mean, I'm a little bit upset that's not like a full-blown remake because I feel like it could really be beneficial. Still nothing on Metal Gear, no. But yeah, no, I think one of the coolest things I saw was probably the fact that Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 are being remastered and released on PS5 and PS4, which I would also assume it's probably going to get released on PC as well, because that's usually the case. I think that's cool. It's nice that we're getting... Because, okay, for as much as I would like a remake, I know that remasters can be a lot more beneficial, because then... So say you play... Because the big thing when it comes to downloading and playing old games, like pre... Or even like pre-2010, more or less. If you get those on PC... They're not that well optimized for modern day PCs. So like, for example, because I've been playing it, Fallout 3, or even last year when I played Vampire the Masquerade for the first time, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. You have to download like patchers and all that. It was the same with Quake 1, Quake 2 when those first came out on Steam. You had to download patchers for them and get them to run properly on modern systems and all that. And the good thing about these remasters is that it allows for them to be better optimized for the modern age. So obviously, you know, you can get a new audience accustomed to playing these older games, and then with enough fan reception, you can get, or even with no fan reception, because fuck, THQ Nordic is working on that Gothic remake, and I ain't even heard of Gothic until that remake was announced. Look, game devs either give us a way to play your games on modern consoles or stop complaining when we resort to alternative. Yeah, exactly. Something I actually just kind of realized that I should be doing more of, is checking out GOG. I don't use GOG too much, but I need to use GOG more, which if you guys don't know, Godel Games, it's a online game store. It's run by CD Projekt Red, which means... Because it's based in Poland, watch out if you use your debit card. I got, like, the moment, because I tried to buy it, because I found out that there's a, I think I talked about it, there's a Warhammer game that was on PC called Fire Warrior. On PS2, I should say, called Fire Warrior, and I found out it was on GOG. So it's like, okay, what's the point? I don't need to use my emulator. I can just buy it off of off GOG. The moment I tried to purchase it with my debit card, I immediately got a call. I'm not even kidding, literally seconds after. Card got declined. I get a call from the from the automated fraud detection center, telling me that there's suspicious activity, and I had to verify that it was actually me, because it was like, oh, did you attempt to charge on September 24th in the amount of $6 on Habada Babada in Poland? And I had to select yes. So for those kinds of sites, if they're based in a different country, if they allow PayPal, use PayPal and have it go directly through your bank, it works far better in the long run than you know, dealing with you know, potentially getting your card blocked and not being able to use it because of stupid shit. Did you hear about the way to bypass the PSN? I did. I actually... Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to bring that up right quick. Because I actually did share it in the server. So God of War Ragnarok got released on PC. And obviously, as with a lot of dumb shit that Sony's been doing, they make it to where you need to have a PSN account for a single-player game. And so a lot of countries are exempt from that. And because it got released on PC, Sony is now quickly realizing that modders exist. So modders were quickly able to disable the PSN requirement for God of War Ragnarok, which bravo, love y'all. You modders are what make the game industry fucking weep, and I kind of love it in a sense, because obviously, you know, you get rid of the PSN requirement, you're allowing more people to be able to play your game, play these games. But yeah, no, that was that was a fun news article to find. But going on with the announcements from State of Play, Fear the Spotlight, which looks like a classic PS1 style horror game. Oh, it's one of the games being made by Blumhouse, so it's probably gonna be good. Who knows? I've heard some good things about Blumhouse. Towers of Agazba. I did see this one. It looks like it's basically gonna be an Animal Crossing. It's like with how they described it. It's basically like medieval fantasy Animal Crossing. Which, I mean, it looks pretty cool because they're talking about like, oh, you can build this like nice looking city on this island, and you can invite friends to your island, which is very like Animal Crossing. So that's pretty cool. Fortnite DualSense controller. It'll be fun for like your kids or something. I don't know. It looks okay. Like that wasn't the only like PS5 like design thing that they showed off today. But they showed off more Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is it's looking like a fucking amazing game. Like, I'm actually pretty stoked for the new Dynasty Warriors. They did announce a release date with this trailer. I think it said I think it's January 24th, January 17th, 2025 is when this is supposed to come out. Looks pretty cool. The trailer played more of the classic like old Dynasty Warriors rock and metal music mixed with like kind of like almost power metal almost, but you know, it looks cool, and I'm excited for it. Then you have, you know, Monster Hunter Wilds. They showed off what the new big monster is going to be for Monster Hunter Wilds, which I'm again super stoked for Monster Hunter Wilds. I can't wait for that to come out. Lego Horizon Adventures pre-order trailer. I mean, it's a Lego Horizon Zero Dawn game. I don't know what else to say. And then the big, you know what? I'll save this for the last thing to talk about. So before we get to that, we have Stellar Blade. They announced in like their update, they're doing another update for Stellar Blade, which is gonna have a photo mode with this update, which I'm sure the internet will be completely SFW about. You know, Stellar Blade getting a photo mode, and to top it all off, they're doing a Nier Automata crossover, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm not entirely surprised by that, given the style of Stellar Blade, and then looking at Nier Automata, they're pretty similar in setting, so I'm not that surprised that we're getting a Nier Automata crossover DLC, which is cool. I like that, but you know, you have this coupled with the photo mode. People are gonna be sus about it. Let's be real here. I think what's funny, right, is that they're promoting this photo mode, and they're having the main character in all these like playful like poses and all that, like, and all that. I'm just like, you know, that's not what they're gonna do. You know for a fucking fact that that's what they're not gonna use that photo mode for. But yeah, no. PS5 showed off they're doing like a Chrome collection thing, so you get like chroma color looking console versions, basically like a PS5 but it's like chroma purple or blue, which I will say the controller looks pretty fucking cool for the purple. Looks pretty cool. I'm not really interested in it. And then they announced the lineup for PS5, for the PS5 Pro. Don't really care about the PS5 Pro. I don't think anyone really gives a shit about the PS5 Pro at this moment. And then to top it all off, they ended the State of Play with the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima called Ghost of Yotai, which already confirming that this is going to be sort of like I think anthology is the proper term for it. It's going to be an anthology series where it focuses on different parts of Japan, with different characters in their own separate stories, which I think is really fucking cool. Because obviously there was the big thing that happened when Tsushima came out. It actually gave awareness to, like, oh wait, the actual area that Tsushima is based in, Tsushima, is like not that well good in terms of like it hasn't really been maintained. So it rose awareness to make people like actually make it a popular tourist attraction, basically. So they kind of restored it and all that, which was really cool to see. And then you have Yotai, which I think is going to do the same thing. And apparently people are already complaining about Ghost of Yotai, which I don't, again, I'm not gonna lie, when they started showing it off, I thought it was gonna be Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I was gonna laugh my ass off. But I'm happy that they're, you know, getting a sequel made for Ghost of Tsushima. I still have yet to play it myself. I've heard incredible things about Tsushima. So it's definitely on the bucket list, for some point. But I'm not surprised people are complaining. I've just grown numb to complaints on people complaining about stupid shit. But here's a thing to complain about. So the one thing I was leaving off from, you know, the one thing I was leaving off from the save play, they announced a remaster of a classic, of a fan favorite PlayStation title. Like, people have been wanting a remaster for this game for so fucking long. And now people are happy that it's finally happening. And I'm happy for them. Horizon Zero Dawn! Okay. Fucking jokes aside, why are we getting Horizon Zero Dawn remaster? Can we be, like, are you fucking for real, Sony? Because apparently this is actually, oh, hold on, I'm gonna, side note right quick. They did talk about Lego, like the Lego Fortnite thing. I'm sorry, I'm sidetracking again, but they brought up Lego Fortnite, and they brought up that split screen co-op is gonna be in the next update. It's like, kind of sucks that we're getting split screen co-op as a fucking feature now when it should be a basic feature in the game. But anywho, yeah, no, Horizon Zero Dawn remaster. Nobody was asking for this. Who was asking for this? Nobody. And on top of that, didn't they just release this game on PC like last year? Hold on. Like, hold on. Let me take a look-see here. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. When was this released on PC? Was it last year? No, it was actually in 2020. Regardless, it looks fine. It still looks fine. It's one of the biggest games to come out on PS4. Shit, like, if you want a game that could show off what the PS4 could do when that console was, like, big, Horizon Zero Dawn was the game for that. Two words, backwards compatibility. It's got the PS4 version in... Yeah, literally. Like, literally, that's the answer. And it's like... Bloodborne? Where the fuck is Bloodborne? Like, that's... Sony will literally re-release any game. They'll do a remaster of any fucking game but Bloodborne. One of the biggest, like, selling games. One of the highest selling games to come out on PS4. And they're just refusing to do anything with it. That game is locked on the PS4 for almost eternity. And, you know, it's like, you know, Hidetaka Miyazaki. He just got basically From Software got the rights back for Elden Ring, which is why we're seeing much more done with Elden Ring now. They need to try and get it for Bloodborne because people are so fucking upset that we're getting a remaster of a game that's not even 10 years old compared to a game that I actually think is 10 years old. Like, I think Bloodborne is actually 10 years old. Hold on. 2015. It will be 10 years old next year. in March. So who knows? Maybe we will get lucky and they'll be like, hell, hey, for its 10th anniversary, we're going to re-release on PC. I hope that's the case. I hope I hope that happens, but I'm not holding out hope. But here's, you want to know the fucking thing that gets me about this Horizon Zero Dawn remastered announcement? Is that they had the balls on them. They had the fucking balls on them to say that, oh, this remaster is gonna feature re-mocapped scenes and a lot of re-recorded lines. And it's like, you could have used the costs, the development costs for those re-mocapped scenes and those re-recorded voice lines for a Bloodborne remaster. Literally, you could have just done that. And you couldn't even do that. Instead, you're re-releasing a game that can already be played on fucking everything except the Xbox. Like, Jesus Christ, Sony, read the... I shouldn't even ask... Like, they're not gonna read the room. They're never gonna read the room. Yeah, exactly. It's The Last of Us all over again. Why did The Last of Us Part 1 need a remaster? Like, that game didn't need a remaster. Horizon Zero Dawn doesn't need a remaster. They did a remaster of Did they just do a Last of Us Part 2 remaster? Like, isn't that a thing that just actually for real happened? Hold on. It did. They did do a remaster of Last of Us Part 2, and that didn't need a remaster. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh my lord. Again, they will literally re-release any game but Bloodborne. And it amazes me that we've gotten to the point now where, you know, it's no secret at this point that there is a fan-made port being made of Bloodborne right now. So there is a PS4 emulator. I can't remember what it's called. There's a PS4 emulator for PC. And there are people who are currently right now, as I'm speaking, developing a fan-made PC port of Bloodborne for this PS4 emulator. And apparently, like right now, like they're making headway, like they're making milestones with this. And to see an update between like 1 month to a month after, like seeing a full month, like what happened in between months, seeing an update on that is fucking crazy. Because when they first started, it's like, okay, you can get to like a loading screen or like the character creator. You can't get anywhere past that. But literally a month later, it's like, oh, you can actually like play the game. You can actually make your character and go through like the opening area of Bloodborne. Granted, it looks like shit. It looks like dog shit and it runs like dog shit, but it runs, you can actually fight, you can play the game. So it's like, think about what we're gonna see in like the next couple of months, you know? And, you know, you brought up Jak and Daxter. There's a fan-made PC port of Jak 1. That's out right now. I've played an actual fan-made, like last year for my VTuber anniversary, I played a fan-made mod, a fan-made level for this fan-made PC port. And it was fucking cool. It was only one part of it. It wasn't finished, but it was cool. And right now, the same people who made that Jak 1 PC port, I don't know if they finished Jak 2 or if it's in its like beta, like you can download it, but I think it's only in beta. But you can still play it. And it's fucking crazy what you can do with that. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, literally, I'm gonna go irate gamer for a moment and go, like, get it together, game designers. Like, literally, get it together. You guys are sitting on cash cows and you're not fucking doing anything with them. It's like Warner Brothers doing the whole thing like, oh, we're just gonna start these projects and then cancel them either halfway through or right near to completion because we just want to fucking keep this we just want to keep this IP for as long as we live. We don't want anyone to have this IP and actually potentially have that person do it justice. We're just gonna sit on this IP and not do anything with it, but we'll sort a couple things. You know, get people some work and then just cancel it, make their work be for fucking nothing. Like, they lost the fucking NBA, yeah. NBA's back on NBC. That's the only piece of sports news I very rarely ever talk about. I don't watch sports, but congrats for sports fans. So we got to talk about the new Hellboy movie that was in the that is in the works. Release, it's getting to close to release. I think it's supposed to release next month. Hellboy and the Crooked Man, I believe, is what it is. Now, obviously, you know, Hellboy, first two movies with Ron Perlman as the titular character, really great films. Highly recommend you go check them out. I haven't seen the David Harbour film. I think it was, I want to say it was either 2019 or 2018 when it came out. It has Mia Jovovich in it, as like the main bad person. Which I don't know. I think I heard mixed feelings on that one. And then there was the Hellboy Web of Weird, which was that roguelike game that came out around October last year. We actually streamed it. We did a one-off stream of it, and it was pretty mediocre. It was a pretty mediocre roguelike game. It was pretty disappointing. Especially since we hadn't gotten like a Hellboy game in years, like not since the PS2 Xbox era. So that was a very disappointing game, especially given the fact that was I think that was the last voice acting role that Lance Reddick did before he unfortunately passed away. Because he voiced Hellboy in that game. And then earlier this year, they released a trailer for a new Hellboy film titled Hellboy and the Crooked Man. I actually can't remember who... it's just Hellboy the Crooked Man, my mistake. I think... Who plays Hellboy this time around? Because they changed him again. It's Jack Kesy. Or Casey. Might be Casey. I don't know. His last name was spelled K-E-S-Y. Jack Casey sounds more like... It sounds more like how it would sound. I'm not sure, though. But, news story came out yesterday announcing that it's going to go straight to digital. It's going to have a straight to digital release. It is not having a US theatrical run, which already does not give me high hopes for this film. Because as we all know from the past, with the exception of like a couple of like the Disney sequels, straight to DVD, straight to VHS, that doesn't usually pan out well for movies. They're basically releasing it knowing it's like not gonna be good enough for you know, theaters, which is disappointing. I don't know what the hell has been going on with the Hellboy IP lately. It's just kind of been... It's kind of just been going downhill. Because the franchise was dormant after Golden Army. And then, you know, obviously we got the game and the David Harbour film, which, again, I already said my piece on those. So yeah, not a good look. Hopefully it's good. Maybe it's good. Who knows? Again, with it being straight to DVD, my hopes for the movie have been squandered a little bit, which is unfortunate because the trailer for the film looked like they were going to go more horror into it, because the previous movies were always action. I think the first one was more action and thriller, Whereas like Golden Army and like the David Harbour film, from what I've seen, are all or just pure action movies. And this one, it seemed like, was going to lean into the horror aspect of it, which, you know, is cool. I kind of like that, because after all, I think the entire point of Hellboy is that he encounters like a lot of these like creatures and all these like mythological beings. Like shit, I know in the 2019 movie he goes up against Baba Yaga and her giant walking house. So I don't know. It's unfortunate, but hopefully it does end up being good, and they just want to save costs, I suppose. We'll wait and see until the movie's out. But I don't know if I brought this up on Tuesday. But we did get, I may have to just look at the VOD for it, but so God of War Ragnarok is on PC now, yeah? You need a PSN account, despite it being a single player game on Steam. A modder has already made a mod that bypasses the PSN account requirement, and today, update today, the modder took it down. The modder has taken down the PSN bypass mod, because he's afraid that Sony will smack him with a cease and desist, which all I'm gonna say is, let it live for a few days before, like, honest to God, because, like, now, I'm not a legal expert, so don't, I'm not a legal expert, so fair warning, but I believe cease and desist just means that, like, as long as you take it down, you're okay, but if you don't take it down, then obviously, you know, you can get hit with legal issues. But obviously, if you take it down, but if it's already up for a few days, what goes on the internet stays on the internet. So yeah, it's a little disappointing to see that one. Like, at least let it live for a little bit more than just a day. Oh, it's again, unfortunate news. On top of that, Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed to February. Ubisoft put out an announcement, I think it was yesterday, announcing that they are pushing the game back. I don't know, like, Ubisoft might be dying, people. I'm going to call it. That's what a lot of people are saying. I think Ubisoft is actually dying, because Outlaws, from what I gathered, even though it's a pretty alright game, it did not sell well. Did not sell well for Ubisoft. And then you have all this stuff with AC Shadows and the overall ridiculous controversy that's surrounding it. I think it's ridiculous, to be honest. And on top of that, you have a brief thing, because the Ghost of Tsushima sequel was announced at the State of Play, Ghost of Yotai. The main character is female, and she's being voiced by Erika Ishii, which is fucking amazing. Erika Ishii is an absolute amazing human being. And people are mad about it because people are fucking idiots and don't realize that women samurai were actually a thing. Like, they were actually a thing. They're called onimushas. So, you know, it's kind of another case of people not, you know, looking shit up. So, the Ghost of Yotai stuff, that controversy is fucking dumb. They also, again, as I said, I think I said this before, the AC Shadows controversy is also dumb. So a couple of news stories for today. So firstly, The Cure is back. big influential band, been around since the 70s. They released their first song in 16 years about a day ago, called Alone. It is a really great song. In couple of that, they also announced that they're releasing a new album in November. So we're getting both a new Linkin Park album and a new Cure album in November. I'm so stoked for this. Top of that though, that's pretty much it for like music, but hey, guess who's back? Back again. Day before devs. Back again.
I vaguely heard something about that. I didn't actually do like any reading.
Fantastic, which was the devs behind the ever so critically acclaimed game called The Day Before, came out last year.
Right. Say what you will about Concord, it lasted longer. Yeah,
it did actually. It's a far better game. Now, okay. So after the blunder of The Day Before, they closed down shop, but now they're back as Fantastic 2.0. Not even kidding. That's what their official name is now. And they have just launched a Kickstarter for their next new game, which is totally for real, guys. Totally for real, not rug pull. Totally actually going to be, I think it's another survival game. I actually think it's another survival game. Hold on. Let's see if I can find that Kickstarter. Escape Factory is what it's called. What the fuck? These are the worms. These are just the worms from fucking Worms Armageddon.
Hell yeah.
What the fuck? Right. Hold that. No.
Dude, we need a new Worms game, alright?
Look at that shit.
Escape Factory.
A physics?
Oh my god, no. Dude, they're glorified minions. They're white minions. How have we whitewashed minions?
How? Okay, hold on.
Fantastic return.
Today we need your support.
How does this have any money?
Yeah, no, right? How?
Wait, no, hold on. Okay, 27 backers, $10,000. I almost guarantee you this is them putting money into their own project.
Wait a minute.
I would bet you actual money, because there's only 27 backers, but 10 grand? Like,
yeah.
Okay, that's an average of how much money? 10,000 divided by 27. That's an average of $370 a person.
Yeah, no, dude, the only Kickstarter I actually only just kickstarted my first ever like my first ever like Kickstarter project like about a month ago. It was called Lord of Metal's, being made by I think it's the bassist of Sabaton, Par Sundstrom. And the entire point of Lord of Metal is that it's a think of like City Builder, but the entire point of it is that you're building up your own metal music festival. And they just reached one of their big stretch goals of like $160,000. So it is getting made, which I'm actually kind of stoked for that, like personally. It's not supposed to come out until like 2026, but hey, it's a project I actually kind of have faith in, because I do trust someone like Par for something like that. But like this shit, yeah, no, not, because I'm looking at the GIFs and screenshots. It looks like just asymmetrical team up Fall Guys.
Are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Escape Factory.
Yeah. The animation set 100% just looks like Fall Guys. I will say that. But also, like, none of this looks interesting and or difficult to program. And like their stretch goals end at $700,000.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Wait, hold on. What's the hold on, links? Fantastic 2.0 plan. Download the plan No, I'm not downloading the PDF. There's not actually a thing for that. It's just called download the... Yeah, no. Fantastic merch?
This isn't a $20,000 game. Like, I will say that. They want $20K for it. It is not a $20,000 game. Especially because they apparently already have a lot of the models and stuff. Which means they are, like, more than likely directly funding this from fucking money they already stole from people.
Hold on, let me read their FAQ. What has changed since the closure, and why did you decide to return? After the closure, we reflected on our past mistakes and initiated significant internal changes to drive radical improvement. We've discontinued the practice of involving external volunteers and are now fully committed to a more professional approach. Honesty, transparency, and community engagement have become our top priorities. Having learned from our past mistakes, we've developed Fantastic 2.0, a plan for recovery.
Hey, if we give Fantastic $12,000, we could meet them in person. Alright, I'm not saying we should do this, but I'm just saying... Archduke Ferdinand? For legal reasons, that's a joke.
How do you plan to avoid past mistakes, and what specific steps have you taken to improve communication with the community? We're committed to honest marketing, actively engaging with the community through our Discord. I'm not joining that. That just sounds like a recipe for scams and getting hacked. Releasing development.
Such a wash too. Like they're always echo chambers, always.
Releasing development progress reports and conducting beta tests before the official launch. Which, okay, I should add, there is a free demo for this game. There is a free demo for Escape Factory. I actually don't know if it's on Steam. Hold on, let me check here. What's the Steam? Is there Steam?
I could also download malware directly onto my computer.
Dude, there is a fucking demo. Dude, what? Okay, so... Oh, dude, I really wish they could let us leave reviews for Steam demos. Oh, there's 3 curators that... Okay, here we go. Curator, runner streams, reviews, not recommended. A new attempt to earn money from the creators of the day before. First, finish the previous game, and then we'll talk about a new one. And then the same thing, but in Russian.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. They're not from Singapore? Why does the Kickstarter page say they're from Singapore? When if you scroll down, there's literally Cyrillic at the bottom of the page. I don't actually know what kind of Cyrillic this is. I don't know if this is Ukrainian or Russian, but let me translate this real quick.
Dude, I love these enemy names. Geartron, Zaptron, Riptron, Guntron, Smashtron, Sandworm, Ice Warden, and Sectarian. Sectarian is the most original out of everything else.
There's also just some random, like, store-bought asset looking head-ass mummy if you scroll down a little bit.
Oh, I do not doubt that a lot of this shit they bought off of, like, an asset or like the Safari lady. I'm almost certain I've seen her in, like, Monopoly Go as, like, one of the random ass fucking, like, character. What the fuck is this inside?
Yeah, I'll say so. Like, I think my biggest issue is just looking at what they have put forward alone, right? Also, the Cyrillic I found out, that's literally them saying, "Dear Russian-speaking fans, basically, if Kickstarter has embargoed Russia, therefore you can't support us. You can join our community on Discord and like social media stuff, which is interesting, to say the least. Anyway, like look at the difference in the assets, and like even in like the little gif they have of like the sandworm guy, it doesn't look like it fits the surrounding environment. It wasn't modeled to fit the surrounding environment. Why is there like a weird photorealistic sandworm in like this little cartoony industrial gizmo place? Also, why are we in fucking Egypt with like little beacon light towers when we're supposed to be in a little industrial like fucking sector place?
Like what setting
100%
is
this is assets.
Yeah, like what setting is it? Because it looks like it's in space. Because it looks like something like it looks like stars in the background. It's like, is this a random ass like space station in Egypt?
Well, it's because the map is. I would bet you fucking money it's an asset. But also, I don't know, the tiles are just weird in general. Honestly, the fact that there's just a bunch of weird Egyptian shit, like there's a mummy down here. I don't know why the fuck there's a mummy down here. Because they said it was industrial. So why is Egypt here? Why is there a Yeti in Egypt? Right? Why is there a sandworm in industrial?
Why is there a Yeti in Egypt in space?
Not only that, but like the Yeti doesn't look like he at all fits the surrounding environment. Like it's really blatant how asset flippy this is. And if it's not an asset flip, right, I'll 100% stand corrected, because it does say all of the artwork is handcrafted by our dedicated team.
Wait, hold on. I wanna take a look at more of these things on their FAQ. What happened to, because I forgot, these are the same guys that did Prop Night. What happened to Prop Night and the day before, and do you have any reflections on the day before unsuccessful launch? After the unsuccessful launch of the day before, we couldn't continue development due to financial losses, which led to Fantastic's closure. We lost all legal rights to Prop Night and the day before. Over time, we've analyzed the factors that led to the day before's unsuccessful launch. These included overly ambitious goals on a low and deep budget, a team without AAA tech experience, and embellished marketing, which we deeply regret. We take full responsibility for what happened, and this experience has taught us a valuable lesson. As a reminder, we didn't accept pre-orders, and all sales of the day before have been fully refunded. I'd also like to point out that when the day before initially revealed itself, they had, I feel like they had a finished game. They had a finished game, but then Unreal 5 launched, and they decided to divert all their resources to redeveloping the game on Unreal 5. What, like, that's one of the biggest reasons why that game flopped and why it came out the way it did. Do you have any lawsuits right now? No, we don't. We're not in conflict with anyone and are ready to start from scratch.
Why not just make a new company name?
Yeah, literally. Who would you like to thank? We want to express our deepest gratitude to everyone who stood by us after the closure, our team, all our partners who offered support and help, Mytona, our colleagues in the gaming industry, and our first publisher for the Wild 8, Hype Train Digital, for their support. We're also grateful to our former volunteers who wrote to us, and to all the Prop Night fans who flooded us with messages asking us to return. No one was asking you guys to return. That's a fucking lie. Like, who is standing behind these people?
I think it's really funny.
If the Escape Factory Kickstarter campaign doesn't reach its funding goal, unfortunately, we won't be able to return. In that case, all funds raised will be fully refunded. We hope for your support and believe that together we can overcome this challenge. Until we come back about a year or so later and you make Fantastic 3.0. Electric Boogaloo. Oh. I can't believe they're even coming back.
It is what it is. I mean, look, I'll never wish failure upon people. If they are actually trying to vibe, then hopefully
Wait.
they vibe. But...
Hold on, I need to look at something right quick. Expected. So, they're trying to get this game released in December of this year. I think that just adds more cadence to the fact that this is probably most likely just a huge asset flip. If they're willing to release it that soon after the Kickstarter. Like, when is the Kickstarter supposed to end? Basically in the middle to the end of October. Okay.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
Oh, hold on. I gotta read these comments. These are absolutely paid. Because the first comment I see is from the day before #1 fan.
Let's go!
This game is going to be so great. Just dropped 12 bands for this gem. Can't wait for my dinner to... Oh, I know. Well, paid. I 100% realize that that's a fucking joke account. So that's on me.
Yeah.
So here we go. This game is going to be great. Look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. I'm honestly disgusted that you were trying to come back after all the BS you pulled with your last piece of crap. You know well and truly you ain't reaching your backing goal, and I only pledged and canceling it before the parentheses and canceling it before the deadline when your project fails, which it will. Why even do that then? Why even back it? This comment is under review for potentially violating Kickstarter. Ah, damn. Do not back. This is a scam. Your newest grift will fail. One of the developers is like responding to like all the negative comments. That's hilarious. Jeez. All right. Well, that was a fucking ride.
For sure. Oh shoot. Something I feel like I should mention, because I have a Japanese friend that's very pissed about it. Did you hear about Ubisoft doing a Funko Pop of the Hiroshima Torii Gate?
Wait, what?
So there is a single Torii Gate in Japan that has been like left destroyed and unmaintained, and that is the one that survived the atomic bombing of, it was either Hiroshima or Nagasaki. I'm pretty sure it was Hiroshima. Not 100% on that. It's one of them. But it stands today as like a monument to like, here's this terrible event that happened to us. And there is a Funko Pop model that's coming out that has the main characters of Assassin's Creed Shadows, and one of them is sitting on top of a one-legged Torii
Gate. I'm looking at the picture right now. It looks fucking atrocious.
Yeah, not only that, but it's like they were already being accused of being like a little culturally insensitive and like not really understanding Japan and like being bitches about the whole situation. There's so many just small things that are wrong with this game's development, and hey Japan, we're gonna remind you of one of the worst events in your country's history.
That is a fucking yikes and a half. Jesus Christ.
At best, you can argue that everyone on staff, well, okay, everybody in management is stupid as hell, and they don't have a single Japanese person working on the Japanese game. That's the best argument, is just raw stupidity. Like, it is either raw stupidity and hubris, or it's fucking active maliciousness at this point.
Dude, because obviously I talked about this last night, but they delayed Shadows to February. I'm I didn't hear about this. Oh boy. Ubisoft is dying. I think that we're probably seeing the literal end of Ubisoft.
Yeah. It's real bad.
Oh. Hey, you know what though? We can wait until Ghost of Yotai comes out.
Oh my god! Oh, dude! Oh, please don't! Oh, I've been in so many conversations about. Okay,
I know
people are mad that the main character is a woman. That's it.
I know.
That is all.
It's like, dude, do you know that female samurai were actually a thing?
Oh my fucking god.
They're called onamushas.
So, well, there's Onobugeisha,
Okay.
which, yes, there is that. There's that whole thing. Not only that, okay, fucking one of my, so said Japanese friend who had like a whole thing on this. The easiest one, Tomoe Gozen, that's like the famous like Onimusha, like literally, that's the one,
Mhm.
right? But there are like, I think 20 different Wikipedia pages I have been sent on like, here are individual like Onobugeisha slash Onimusha throughout Japanese history. And also here's a battle where most of the, well, not most, but like, I think a third to like half of the participants were women. And like, here's some other stuff. Like, Japan wasn't like feudal fucking Europe as much as we like to think it was. Women did shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's utterly absurd to be mad about the idea of like, and not only that, but like, what's strange to me is we're talking about the Ghost of Tsushima sequel. Ghost of Tsushima was the game where the protagonist was the most generic, boring human being in all of existence, right? The side characters, the majority of side characters in that game were badass women. Literally most of them. Like, there were like, what, 2 major male characters that were like cool, if you exclude the protagonist?
I have not played Ghost of Tsushima yet.
It's really good. I would suggest it. So I won't add too many spoilers, but like, the game starts with you meeting a badass woman. One of your biggest allies is a badass woman. There's like 3 side quests involving badass women, one of which is a Ronin lady, just like fucking the Ronin lady that's gonna be the protagonist of Yotai.
I something that I don't like about this whole entire controversy is the fact that people are trying to give Erika Ishii so much shit because she's voicing the main character in Yotai. And, you know, she's rightfully blocking all the assholes that are saying shit. And people are trying to go, oh, this'll go well for the game's sales. It's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You're being a piece of shit and she's blocking you for being a piece of shit.
I don't like that, like, it's become... It started with Baldur's Gate 3. Apparently it's become acceptable to harass voice actors for some reason. Like, they don't get to write their lines. Fucking, they can add some stuff. Like, for example, you've got the famous Connor Wink and stuff like that. Like, they can add some stuff and, like, add their own spin on things. But the general gist is always going to be the same. It's not like I can freelance as a voice actor and be like, actually, I am a 300-year-old half angel, half demon. In my game about, I don't know, Mongolian horse archery or something.
Yeah. Or, a very old case, but, I mean, I guess within the context of the movie, it's like, it wouldn't matter because it's a comedy anyway, but, the famous Holy Grail bit with the wizard, he's like, some call me Tim. Because he legitimately forgot what the fuck his character's name was supposed to be.
Well, And that's a facet of comedy, right? Like kind of winging things is a facet of comedy, and like
Hmm.
that's why certain parts are so memorable. Oh, excuse me, it's chilly in here. It's September. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's so weird to me that like it's become socially acceptable to harass voice actors. Like,
Yeah.
but she's woke and leftist. Okay, and what does that have to do with her voicing a character? Like, Henry Cavill and fucking Henry Cavill got kicked off of The Witcher because he tried to like change storylines to meet like what his thoughts were for a character, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't have that much creative control. Henry Cavill would have been a very good producer for The Witcher, by the way. I'm kind of mad that he wasn't. Um, so I don't know. It just peeves me that like we've gotten to a point in society where people can be like openly misogynistic, and like there's no other way of putting that. As much as I'm not like typically an ultra leftist, scree at the clouds type person, it's very blatant and open misogyny to just be like, woman in video game keyboard smash. And the people going, oh, all of the Sony male protagonists have been replaced by women. And
The fuck's the big deal?
well, even then, like
Like,
I feel like it ignores the vast majority of like video games in general, where like the vast majority of games are still being led by men. Like
hmm.
it's either that or you could make your own character.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
people want to make that argument. It's like, you forget we got Kratos right over there, literal
well,
fucking dad.
they're saying Kratos is he's the last one. He's the last
Oh,
man.
shut the fuck. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, because they're like, look, Joel, and also Nathan Drake. The new Uncharted game was Elena, or not Elena. What was her name? The Spanish lady.
I don't know. I haven't
Isabella?
I haven't played the last couple of Uncharted games, so
I forget what her name is. Chloe, that's her name. I'm pretty sure. Um, The Last of Us, Joel. And now Ghost of Tsushima. But I don't know. I feel like it ignores like Days Gone. Days Gone starred literally the most generic white man in existence.
yeah.
I love Deacon, but he is a generic white boy. Like, the Spider-Man games.
Yeah.
Both male protagonists. Fucking what other? God, there are so few games on PlayStation. That
Okay,
it is
you know
hard to
what?
come up with examples. But
Not really PlayStation because it's also on PC, but Wukong. You got Wukong.
that too.
Which-
Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII, Clyde Rossfield.
Yeah. So the Final Fantasy games. I think the only female-led Final Fantasy game is still 13, if I'm not mistaken.
Can you make the argument for 10?
Maybe 10 too, but like I still feel like 10 is still mostly Titus if I had to pick a main character.
Hmm.
But that's just me. There is summoning lady, I think her name is Yuna if I remember right, who's also got a lot of protagonist energy behind her. Kind of late, but couldn't find the exact quote, but somebody say something like, if you're going to stick so hard to historical realism, then don't pick a game that has an attack that hits opponents with lightning. Also, female samurai are accurate. Yeah, exactly. Fucking Ghost of Tsushima literally like has an ability where you fucking spawn fire on your sword and hit people with it, and like the half the point is that like you walk around gathering like historical legendary artifacts used by people from a bygone era in order to make yourself stronger, like the Daikyu, which is just a Daikyu, so I don't necessarily know why it had to relate to anybody. the whole plot behind it is that it's actually a demon thing that makes you crazy and kill everybody. Can you control its power? And like the moment you pick it up, you like murder 30 people. It's kind of interesting. uh, but yeah, I don't know. It feels like a lot of the criticism is just like blatant and open misogyny more than anything else. And
Yeah,
like these are
that's
people that don't know anything about Japan and didn't play Ghost of Tsushima.
yeah.
And one of these people is Asmongold, which is why I'm actually peeved about it. If it was just some random schmuck on the internet, I wouldn't care, but it's Asmongold that's preaching this shit. I don't know. We live in a society. Um
And we unfortunately do. But
Oh, there's also coming to PlayStation soon is gonna be the Metal Gear Solid remakes.
oh yeah, Metal Gear
Um
Solid Snake Eater. Metal Gear
well, there's
Solid
that one
Triangle.
specifically. They also just released like the Master Collection on PC. Well, they released a few games from the Master Collection on PC. I think it's 1, 2, 3, and the original like NES games.
Yeah. And I also think or what was it? The Japanese computer game, the game that the console that Metal Gear Solid was originally released on, or Metal Gear, I should say.
Oh, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I've only played those on PlayStation. So um
But yeah, and then Volume 2, at some point, it's very highly speculated that it's gonna have Metal Gear Solid 4. So
it's always been something bad. Yeah, like okay, so not everything he says is stupid. But he's one of those people that very much appeals to like the again, I feel so weird saying this, but it's just true. He very much appeals to like boys club gamers. Like he's very much the he appeals to the stereotype of gamers. Where it's very much like the chud red pilled like fucking basement dwelling creep variety of person. Um Oh man, more games I'm thinking of. Resident Evil 4, Like a Dragon games, Jedi Survivor. Like, there are so many recent games that star men that like it's bizarre, dude. I
Eh,
don't like that this is the state of video game
or
discourse.
even because obviously played it last week, Titus.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Um, it it's weird to me too because like if Anita Sarkeesian just like re-uploaded all of her videos today, they would all be factually correct in the current landscape of gaming. It's weird to me. That like we've looped ourselves back into this.
Hmm.
Because it's just so open now. It's just so open. Um Previously you could make an argument, but now people are just mad that women exist in video games. I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I like video games. I think Ghost of Yotai is probably gonna be exactly like Tsushima, where like it's a good game. It has some interesting like ideas and like cool things to play with. But like overall, it's gonna be kind of mid. Like I think Ghost of Tsushima is like a 6.5 out of 10. Um,
Yeah. Um. Basically, about it.